Good afternoon, I'm Maciej Mikos and you're watching World Talks. Russia's Vladimir Putin has expressed hope that Donald Trump would find a solution to the conflict in Ukraine. As it is one of the new administration's priorities, President-elect has already tapped retired General Keith Kellogg to be his special Ukraine envoy. Is the war coming to an end, and at what cost? To discuss it, we're joined by Gary Tabach, former Chief of Staff of NATO Military Liaison Mission in Moscow and expert in the U.S.-Russian and U.S.-Ukrainian relations. Good afternoon, Gary.
Hello, Maciej. Always great to be on TVP.
Good to see you again. So, Vladimir Putin has hailed Trump as a smart and experienced person and stressed that the incoming U.S. president will find a solution to the ongoing conflict. What do you make of these words? What are the Kremlin's expectations from Donald Trump, who we see lurking from behind your back?
Well, that is his mugshot. When he was arrested, they took a mugshot of him before the court system. So it's, if we go back a little bit, again, I would say whenever KGB speaks, they're lying or they're deceiving and they're not sincere. And we should never listen to the KGB talk. These people are thugs. And this is exactly what General Keith Kellogg, who is now an appointed new envoy to Ukraine from President Trump, called him. He said he's a thug. And that is exactly what it is. Well, just recently, about 3 weeks ago or about a month ago, Vladimir Putin said that they prefer Kamala Harris because she's the experienced politician and Trump is unpredictable and he's not good because he won't be able to do anything except. But now they changed their tune. What as many politicians in the United States and in Ukraine have done the same thing. So now they all have to deal with this, what they call unpredictable, although I don't know what he's unpredictable in. Everything he says, he does. So it's pretty easy to predict. And he does say that he's going to put an end to this killing of people, this murderous war in Ukraine. But everybody's going to end up paying a price for it as well. Then nothing comes free. For 3 years, this war has been raging. Many cities in Ukraine are destroyed, infrastructure is destroyed. The cream of the society of young people, many of them are killed or injured. Many left. So this is going to take a serious effort. But again, I just want to stress one thing. Everything, we talk about it, oh, now Trump is going to come and he's going to save the world and all this. He promised and has to deliver. He's just one man. And the United States is only one country. Yes, powerful, rich country, but only one country. It'll take a world effort. It takes all the countries, the civilized countries, to come together like we did during World War II and put an end to it. A lot of it depends on the European countries. A lot of it depends on Saudi Arabia, India, China. We all have to come together. And I think this is the strength where President Trump has. He will be able to has different ways of dealing with it by putting people on one side to deal with this evil that has
and
rose in Europe.
And Ukraine absolutely understands it. Now, I would also like you to comment on Putin's words that Donald Trump should not feel safe after assassination attempts on his life. Now, you said never to trust a former KGB, right? Now, should we interpret it as a genuine care for the well-being of Donald Trump, or rather as a, thinly veiled threat to the president?
Well, I mean, when I say we never trust, I mean, it doesn't mean he always lies. I mean, a lot of times they sometimes, not a lot of times, sometimes, very rarely, they may say the truth. For instance, when the Katyn massacre happened of the Polish officers, for years, I remember those days when we believed that it was the Germans who did it. But Hitler himself was saying, no, it wasn't the SS, it was the KGB, or prior to the KGB, NKVD that did it, and the Soviets that shot all these Polish officers, and nobody believed it. But guess what? Hitler was telling the truth at the time. So sometimes it happens where those tyrants do tell the truth. I think President Trump life is always in danger, like any popular or any president, like President Kennedy. There are always people who want to get rid of them, because what they're doing is radical. And President Trump, he's a radical guy. He's going to have radical means of changing this world, bringing order to the world and stopping wars in Ukraine and in Israel. A lot of countries, a lot of terrorists that want to see the destruction of Israel.
Let's now concentrate on Ukraine and specifically our guest, Diane Francis from the Atlantic Council, stressed that Putin, as a matter of fact, in her eyes, is an opportunist and would settle for less than he already has conquered in Ukraine if a certain deal is presented to him. And to quote, that is his game. He's got all the cards and he knows it. He's not a murder type of guy. He's just saying, make me a deal, make me an offer. That's about Donald Trump, of course. Now, what kind of deal is do you think is Donald Trump expecting now?
I don't know. I can't, if I could read Donald Trump, I would be Donald Trump. It's very difficult to say what kind of deal. I know that everybody is not going to be happy with the deal. Putin will say, that, he's going to just tell his country, his people that, we've reached our goal. We've gotten what we want. President Trump is going to cooperate with us. President Trump, as a matter of fact, works for me. That always is a very popular thing to say. And they will stop. Of course, Ukraine will probably lose something. Look, this has been going on for 3 years, and Ukraine has lost a lot of territory, has lost a lot of infrastructure, a lot of people. So they will have to, at least to pretend that they have given something to the Russians, so Putin can have saved the faith. What will happen? I don't know. I think there is a surprise waiting for us. I think we should just wait. What I can suspect is happening is that Trump and his team, or including General Keith, Kellogg, and Marco Rubio, who's probably will be our head of our State Department, are already talking to China, talking to Saudi Arabia, talking to many different. They're already. President Trump said that he will reinstate our Keystone pipeline from Canada. If hopefully in Canada the leadership will change as well, and that will drop the oil prices. There are a lot of different things that they already, I think, started to work on. And Putin knows that sooner or later, and probably sooner than later, he will have to give something up. So that is why he's intensifying his attacks on Ukraine, destroying their infrastructure and their troops advancing, slowly but advancing.
They do. Now, Trump's plan emphasizes the famous peace through strength formula. So how to interpret it? Is it more, in economic terms, as you just described with the prices of oil and so on, or rather should we expect Donald Trump to send maybe U.S. soldiers to Ukraine if Putin does not stop?
I don't know. I can't predict those things, but I don't think President Trump likes to send our soldiers. His politics and his campaign promises are that we're going to stop the wars and we're going to bring our soldiers back, because these long, never-ending wars that just, takes our soldiers away is not good, and it's not financially feasible. So I think he likes to fight, firstly, economically, and he proved that he could do it. With Russia, he did that. With Korea, he did that. And with China, he did that. And with Turkey, he did the same thing when the Turks did not back down and were trying to fight our allies, the Northern Alliance. Their leader dropped very quickly against the dollar. So I think he's going to try all kind of different things. One does not exclude the other one. They may be all inclusive. So he will be fighting on all of the fronts. So far, it looks like his cabinet is being formed with tough guys, with tough people that are not. Many of them are not politicians.
You personally, as a former military, are you happy with the appointment of former General Keith Kellogg?
Yes, very much so. I had the honor to serve under his command. He's a very knowledgeable, very highly educated. He has commanded troops, and he was caught in very difficult situations where he came out victorious at all times. He's a very strong supporter of Ukraine, of Israel. He called Putin a thug to fight that. Again, we also have to deal with Iran. There's another issue, but I know you want to concentrate on Ukraine, but there's Iran and threat to Trump personally from Iranian terrorists. So General Keith Kellogg is a very, very strong leader. I think it couldn't have been a better choice or a better friend for Ukraine than him.
Gary Tabach, former chief of First Staff of NATO military liaison mission in Moscow, and great friend of Poland, as a matter of fact. Thank you so much, Gary.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Always great to be with you guys. Bye.
Bye. And thank you for watching, and stay with us for much more here on TVP World.